Hey there, fam. How's it going? And welcome to an episode of Talk to the Rods Unfiltered. I know it's been a little bit, been doing some other little projects, been doing pretty much like the daily vlog ones. But this one, this unfiltered episode actually came from a conversation I had. I usually am with my friends, as you guys know. It was actually one I overheard. And then they asked me my opinion on it while I was at work. And it was interesting. And the question was, is it better to keep your relationships private, or is it better to keep, do people mind having out in public? And that for me is a little bit of a personal question, in the sense of, not for me, but like it's something that it's personal between you and the other person, right? Because if you have a relationship where you know where it is, you and your person, you guys understand each other, you guys know you don't have to flaunt it, you don't have to do like all these extra things, because as we know, Instagram is a very special place, right? And social media and the internet, and in general, YouTube, whatever platform you consume the most, unless people like go out of their way to show you who they are, you can kind of pretend to put up a front and kind of make the narrative whatever you want. We see a bunch of people that that on social media they're super happy, and then like you meet in person and they don't have the same energy. And one of the things that was actually quite interesting that I read not that long ago was that a lot of comedians, and I'm not saying all, I don't want to generalize, but it's from a fact that I saw that they did generalize. There we go. That you see all these comedians that they're super renowned comedians, and the example they used was Robin Williams. Was he made everybody else laugh, but he himself was depressed. Right? And you might be like, Rods, what are you talking about? You're kind of rambling on. I'm going to get to it. Just wait. For me, right, if you are with someone, right, and you understand that, hey, listen, we know what we have is real. Excuse me. We know what we have is real. And we don't have to constantly be like having other people validate our feelings and validate our relationship. That's cool. Now, I'm not saying, obviously, you're with someone, you're proud of them, for sure, take a picture, post it, hey, look, we're on vacation, we're doing this, date night, whatever. I'm all for that, 110%. What I'm not for is going and making it where you feel like you have to constantly be like putting it out there, like, oh, we're together, so we have to be, constantly posting every single day together, and you're telling the world how much we love each other, when in reality, you guys could be having a fight, right? And I say that because that, if both parties aren't on the same page, it can create some separation. Because excuse me, wow, it's a little bit cold now. We're treating in Florida weather, it's hot and it's cold. So we got a little coughs here and there, but we're good. Healed in the name of Jesus Christ, so we're fine. But what I was getting to is that, let's say we'll use this right here, right? Being on camera all the time, sharing, my life with you guys, sharing, other creators do the same thing. That can get to a point where you want to keep something private, right? You want to have the relationship that's just you and your person, right? You and your girl, you and your guy, where it's something that just you guys can keep nurture, right? You guys can nurture and grow together, because, it is what it is. The internet can be a, cutthroat kind of place, but, if it can be used for great things too, like, just to bring some amazing, positive things into this world. But there's also the negative side of it, that if you're not ready for it, if you're not strong enough, if the relationship's not strong enough to go through, and grow with that, then it can end up in a really bad way, right? So like my response to it was, listen, that's between you guys. If you guys know that, you guys are together and you guys are, don't need to have other people validating, other people getting in the midst of it. No. You know that the only person in the middle of you two is God. That is the only thing, right? So when things get rough, you guys meet in the middle. You guys meet in the middle, and you let God help reveal what you guys need to work on as individuals and as a couple. Yeah. So that was my opinion on it. That's my my 2 cents, if you want to put it that way. My unfiltered answer to that, because like I said, it's a very personal thing. Personal thing, because I think personally, starting phases, you're just starting off, keep it private, right? And I don't want to be like negative, like, oh, what if it doesn't work out? I'm not saying that. I'm saying keep it private, because it is so fresh. And for me, if you feel like you always have to grab the camera and always be posting, always be doing that, and again, some people it works for them, for sure. Like, and that's cool. If that works for you guys, awesome. Continue with that. Whatever, that works for you guys, right? You guys are both on the same page. But I think, in my personal opinion, that time, put the camera down, put the phone down, put the web down, and just learn the other person, right? Learn them off camera. right? You see people like, oh, they're on camera persona and then their off camera persona can be different. It shouldn't be. Like, I feel like you should be the same person whether you have a camera with 10,000 people watching you, or it's just you across the table from a person grabbing a coffee. Like, you should be the same person. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen in many different places, in the world. I live in Miami, so like that we get a little bit of a bad rap. Unfortunately, California, same thing. Like, where it's like, oh, like the super fast life, the street life. In the sense of like everything's so open and like wow, like everything was like looking for the next big thing and like stuff like that. But that's why, even more of an opinion, where I think you should go in those beginning stages, especially. I think you should do it like you should always keep that portion of your life private. Be open enough to be like, hey, listen, you know what? I have failed you in this, like with your person, but not everyone has to know your problems, right? Not everyone has to go and get in the middle of whatever's happening between you two. It's exactly that, between you two. Right, and then you have, his side, chirping on one side, her side chirping on the other side. It's like, nah, guys, like, obviously you want to go and get wise counsel for sure. But like, when you start getting more people involved and you have like, oh, you know what? No, like, I'm gonna go tell the boys what happened, or I'm gonna go tell the girls what happened. And listen, I'm just saying, I know you might be like, oh, hold on, Rods. I get it. You want to find counsel and your boys like, hey, listen, man, this was happening, whatever. That should be, in my opinion, like a second option. You first go to God, right? God, this is what's going on. Actually, this should be a third option. And now I think about it, I'm gonna retract that a little bit. God, this is what's going on right now. Like how can I get better at this? How can we grow better at this, right? Then you go to that person. Hey, babe, more, whatever's going on, like, let's talk this out, right? And if for some reason, right, like, let's say, you guys are just dating, right? And you just need some time apart, you need a breather, right? I remember I was watching one of his older preachings, talking about it, how people give the marriage counsel of like, oh, never go to bed angry. And when he said that, I was like, hold on, like, I feel there's gonna go something with this. Sometimes it's okay to go to bed. Go to your corners, right? I love you, babe. You know what? I'm angry at you, but I still love you. Whatever. Or I'm upset at you. Put it that way. I'm upset at you. I'm upset at the situation, but I still love you. Boom. Go to your own corners. Because you might, out of anger, and I'm kind of quoting you might have anger, like, just say things that you might not mean, right? Maybe you're a little hungry. Maybe you're a little tired. Maybe it's just a mixture of both, where you might not be in the best state of mind to be having this conversation. Take a breath. I'm not saying not to approach it and not to go and acknowledge it. Take a breath, like, okay, let's see. We thought about it, we had a night to sleep it off, whatever. Let's go at it again. And I get it. Sometimes people want to go and you just want to answer right there and then. You want to, no, let's confront the issue in the moment. And I get it because I've done that too. Like, there's times and place for all of this. There's a time to be like, no, we need to talk about this right now. We need to figure this out right now. This is very important. This isn't crucial. Like, we're not going to go away from this. So there are times you're like, you know what? Cooler heads needs to prevail. And let's talk about this. Hey, you know what? Yesterday I was upset about this, and that. Because you might be so upset in the moment that just any little thing's getting you more upset. If you go home, you relax, you take some time, you take a quick breather, like even in boxing they have breaks, right, in the fights. So like, ding ding, all right, go to your rounds. Catch your breather. All right, what am I really mad about? Am I really mad that, that the forks were upside down in the dishwasher? Or am I mad for something bigger than that, right? Are you holding it in so much that it's gotten to the point that any little thing sets you off, that now you're like a bomb, like a nuclear bomb, that any little thing that goes and just is incorrect, boom, it goes off. We can't do that. So you gotta talk it out. And I get it, because like, I'm being vulnerable with you guys, because like, it is true. Like, I'm the same way. Like, there's times you're like, nah, tired. You brush it off. But you brushing it off isn't really brushing it off. You're just brushing it more into the corner and more into your corner. Before you know it, you look and you're like, I have a mountain of issues that I haven't resolved yet. Whether it's with yourself, whether it's with your significant other, whatever it might be. So, to like circle back to all this at the end of it, like, do I think relationships should be super public or should they be private? In my opinion, in Rod's opinion, I would say a little bit of both. Like, I would say, yes, share and be happy, proud of your significant other, be proud of your spouse, be proud of your boyfriend, be proud of your girlfriend, for sure. But also keep certain things internalized, right? Keep things in-house, because that's like, these people don't go back home with you. Your spouse does. Your boyfriend and girlfriend, you're the ones that you see them all the time, right? That's the person you go to. So, and then when you put your head down, are you fighting with her or him and the rest of their family and the rest of their whole crew and stuff like that? Or are you arguing with that? Sometimes you gotta see the big picture and be like, all right, God, you know what? Like, I'm not really mad at this. I'm mad at myself, and I unknowingly just went and lashed out on her or lashed out on him. So like that's why for me it's crucial. Like when I tell my friends and it's vital, I always tell them like, hey, listen, like before all this, like, did you pray about it yet? And you might be like, Rod, obviously, come on, bro, like, all right, like, nah, like, I'm serious. Like, I'm not even trying to make this sound like super like religious or anything like that. Like, did you pray about this? Did you take a breather and like, all right, what am I really mad about? God, show me if I'm doing something wrong. Show me if I'm doing something that's incorrect. Because it might not be her, it might not be him, it might be you. You might be the issue, you might be the problem, right? So like, that's what I'm gonna leave you guys with today is that, you know, because that's the question they asked me. Do I think relationships should be public or should they be private? I think that's a question you have to talk about with yourself. You have to acknowledge it with you, with your significant other, and then let God guide you. Yeah? I love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of these talks. I know it's been a little bit for this one, since I did Unfiltered, but had to get some other stuff done. I've had the other one, so get you guys in the loop. I want to keep some content going with you guys, but this was a question that popped up. I don't like to just give random questions. This was one that I felt like was pretty cool. One that is beneficial for you guys, educational, inspires, motivates, all that good stuff. So yeah, love you guys. See y'all on the next one, and keep going. Stay safe. Make it the best ever.